Welcome to Real Estate AI Flash, the show where we cut through the noise and show you how real estate professionals are using AI to win. I'm Rajeev Sajja, and every week I talk with people who are actually doing the work, not just talking about it. Today's guest is Michael Renick from Sarasota, Florida. Want to know how he's leveraging AI to scale his content on autopilot? Let's get into it this week with Mike. Welcome to Real Estate AI Flash. And today I have Michael Renick with Team Renick from Sarasota, Florida. And he's been in real estate for 13 years. And I'll have him introduce himself. Mike, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. So, when I first kind of digitally connected with you, I saw you in a Facebook group where you were doing some really cool stuff. And I said, you know what? I think Mike would be good for our listeners. And that's how I sort of reached out to you, and here we are. So for the listening audience, I gave you like a 10-second introduction for a career that spans many years. So I'd love for you to kind of give your backstory and bring us to today.
The many years is because of the gray hair. I get that. I respect that. I'm having the time of my life. I worked for General Motors for 31 years. I got hired in when I was 21, right out of school, right out of college. I retired. I was lucky at 52 with a full package. So I was able to do what I want to do in life. And I was a technologist. At the end of the career, I was on the IT staff. I was a global information officer. So I have this passion. So I ultimately, a couple years later, got my real estate license. I landed here in Florida, then got the license. I had a Michigan license first. But we came down here. We kind of started our own company. We're under an umbrella brokerage called Mangrove Realty. But the Team Renick is wholly owned by myself and one other broker. And we believe in doing business differently. And we believe in leveraging technology. And one thing that's important to me and important to my team is that technology has a wall and it has to stop. Technology can't build a relationship with my client. It's me and the client on the phone, going out to dinner, golfing, chatting, whatever. But technology will free up my time so I can do that with my client. And that's our focus here.
Yeah, no, well said, well said. So, one of the things that you and I briefly talked about in preparing for the podcast was you said you were 70 years young.
Next year,
right?
I will be 70
Next year.
years
Okay, so I
old
don't want
next
to
year.
age you, so you're
No,
69.
I love being at this time of my life. It's probably the best time I've ever had.
Yeah, no, look, I think some of the listening audience should take a page from Mike that, age is no barrier here. You can embrace new things at any stage. And plus, obviously, you have a tech background, so you have that itch that you want to kind of look at new things, which I can sense. But so you got into real estate in 2013, you said, or 11?
2011.
2011. And then you have how big is your team now, Mike?
So we had at one time we had 12 agents. We're actually down to another broker and I who own the company and just one other agent. That's it. We've gotten really small. And the thing that allows us to do that is the AI. We don't have to have a transaction coordinator. I don't have to have a VA. We're letting the technology do those things. And frankly, the technology is there 24 hours a day. It doesn't miss a day. There's no sick time. I was going to say it doesn't argue with me, but developing some of these programs, it's done a lot of arguing with me.
Oh, I'm sure it does. I'm sure we'll get into that kind of stuff. So Mike, what was your first light bulb moment of what was possible with AI?
I was back 300 years ago when the internet was being rolled out, and I leveraged that with a passion. And with AI, it's like a million times more powerful. Just seeing the ability to have a conversation. I am talking to ChatGPT on my phone all the time, late at night, talking strategy. What can we do? So I was just when you see the theoretical of what it could do, the strength that I think I bring is finding a business application for that.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
And I see so many things I want to get my arms around out there. We're just beginning. This technology is where it is today is nothing where it's going to be in 5 years.
Yeah, interestingly enough, I was in a keynote not too long ago with Steve Brown. He's the AI futurist. He worked with Google DeepMind in UK. So his start was there, but he's in Oregon. He said the advancements we've seen in the last 50 years are going to dwarf what we're going to see in the next 5. And I believe that. I think that 5 has technically started, in my opinion. All right, we're probably early in that 5-year journey, to your point. let's kind of dig into some specific use cases, Mike, for you that would apply to, and most of our audience is real estate agents across the country,
Yeah.
some brokerage leaders, but primarily real estate professionals. So, walk us through specific use cases, and then we'll go back and forth on it.
It could be something from very simple to I have Claude do the analysis every Sunday of the 7 days earlier in terms of the transaction, what's going on, do the analysis and create my blog for me, or to something. In 2016, I was part of an organization called Curator, and they taught us about videos, and we've been doing videos ever since. I have well over 1,000, maybe over 2,000 videos on YouTube right now. But the thing is, to do a video, so a lot of my buyers, this is a second home market out here on this part of Florida, aren't here. So we do a series called Out and Around or Local Happenings. So I'd find something in the newspaper that's going on, and then I would have to write the script, and then we'd have to go out and film it and all of that kind of stuff. Today, when I find the article with a program that I've created, we put the web address into my program, and the video pops out. Think of that. The video pops out with, I was in a debate with my doctor the other day because he was complimenting me on my videos, and I was sharing with him that's not me. And he says, Mike, I saw it. It is you. He made me take my phone out and we pull up a video, and I said, that's AI Mike. That's not me. It looks like me. It's got the mannerisms that I have. It has the voice. But think of that, because I want to, my clients love seeing what's happening down here when they're not here. And the fact that I can do that with probably a 2-second push of the button now versus the hours we used to put into it, think of the amount of time that it frees up. All that kind of stuff. It's just
100%.
It's amazing.
So let's kind of double click into that whole process, right? Without getting into the technical, gory details, but at least I think the agents listening to this podcast should know that stuff like this is possible. And what does it take to sort of the tools that you're using? You're obviously finding the article, the URL. That's where that's the input. Then walk us through the tools that it touches before the output. I know you talked about AI Mike, which is probably 11 Labs and HeyGen. So just kind of talk through the journey of the tool set there.
So we use an environment called N8N. It's a little letter N, the numeral 8, and the little letter N. I don't know how they came up with that, but that's where the program or the code is created. But what it does is the URL goes in there, and it uses ChatGPT to create the script. So it takes the web address, it looks at the article, it creates a script that I ask for about 50 seconds. It then gives me a chance to proof the script, because sometimes AI likes to hallucinate is the technical term they're using. So we proof the script. But then it goes through, like you said, HeyGen, and HeyGen pulls in my voice from 11 Labs because it's much more realistic sounding. And then it creates the avatar AI Mike. And we've got 2 avatars today. We've got one with me dressed in my real estate shirt that I'm wearing now, and we have one where I'm dressed in a blazer. And in Florida in real estate, I never have worn a blazer ever, so people are really teasing me about that one. But it's simple in concept. It was difficult to get everything talking together, but this can be used forever in terms of one of the strengths or one of the demands my client has is understanding what's happening in this part of Florida when they're not here. I can produce that now. It's something that would probably take 4 hours per video with finding the article, writing the script, creating the video, all that kind of stuff. I can do it in less than 2 minutes, and that's not an exaggeration. Think of the concept here for any brokers that may be listening to this. We just finished testing, and it tested really well. I now have a program where a brokerage can take any one of their agents. And so let's say the agent creates a video just like that and posts across all their channels, all done. Click of a button. I was earlier this morning, I exposed the other broker to it. I hope this is okay to say I was ready to kill him. He was so underwhelmed. I don't think he understands the power of that thing.
Yeah.
But to be everywhere, Gary Vee teaches to be everywhere all the time. That's the secret sauce to social media today. It's not the followers, it's getting the content out there. And being able to do that fast, and it's a world of difference right now.
And I think it's what's important if you're listening to this podcast. I think it's important to know that obviously Mike has a technical background, so he was able to navigate some of these steps that he's talking about, setting up N8N. But the process, as long as you feel, hey, I could use a process like that, you could go to like a Fiverr or an Upwork and hire somebody to build you that. It's not Right, go ahead.
And you can actually do it without even having to do that. I mean, you've got to go into HeyGen. An agent called. I offered to give away one free program, and the agent says, I'll take you up on it. But I told her she had to create her own avatar. I can't do that for her.
Right.
And so she kind of lost interest. But you go into HeyGen, you create your avatar, and you can do a voice clone right there if you want. Or you can use 11 Labs and bring it in on an API. That's a technical term, but it's two programs talking together. And you can just go to the website and you can do this automatically. You can copy and paste in the script and out pops your video. It's that simple.
Yeah. And NA, so in terms of cost of producing a video, you talked about time, which is a cost for sure. So let's talk about your process now. There's a little bit of cost for HeyGen, credits. Every system has their own stuff. Talk about creating a video. How many cents, if that's a term I want to use, cost for creating a video? So
I don't remember the platform cost for HeyGen and 11 Labs. It's not expensive. Yeah. So you have that. It's just, the time to put things together. Once you create the avatar, you can use that avatar for every single video going forward. You go in, you put in the script, right in the HeyGen website, and out pops the video. There's not a lot of cost in terms of that. Now, since I'm using, I'll get technical for a second, API calls, and I'm not in the website, I'm using my program. Yeah. There are charges above and beyond that for the API calls. So I wanted to get fancy. So my programs now have a cost calculation. So when I run something, I know what it costs me.
Yeah.
The highest I've seen so far is 4 cents. This is amazingly
No, it's cents.
Inexpensive.
I mean, it is cents. So it's literally nothing. It's free. I think that's a good way to describe it. So the videos, and we'll put a link to Mike's YouTube video channel, et cetera, so you can check out these videos. But do they also have the ability to do ingest B-roll when you're talking about, or it's just since they're short 50 seconds, you're always on camera? So,
we take it today, and then the other broker will take it, and he'll put a B-roll behind it in CapCut. So CapCut doesn't have a way I can go in the API thing again and do that, but that day's coming. But here's the cool thing. Posting on social media is a total waste of time. Yeah. Think about that. Total waste of time. Posting on social media correctly is a game changer. Now, here's why I say that. My program is designed so that every time I run it, there's a part of the program that goes out and says what's trending on TikTok, what's trending on YouTube, what's trending on Instagram, what's trending on Facebook. It grabs the latest trending rules and it applies it to my post every single time I run a post. You can't do that even manually when you create a post.
No, and the amount of time it takes, Mike, I mean, just forget about it, even if you know what you're doing.
So even like before I wrote the program, I had a custom GPT, so it was done within ChatGPT, but it had one set of rules that followed every time, month after month after month. But this thing actually goes out, and I'm tweaking it and still perfecting it, but it learns what you do with the emojis, what you do with the verbiage, what's a eye-catching title, because what you put on TikTok isn't the same as you'd put on YouTube or Instagram. Right. And what you do today, next week it's something different. So this program, when I say the concept of posting on social media is a waste of time, but posting correctly is a game changer, that's what this program is designed to do. This technology allows us to do stuff we couldn't do before. Yeah. So tell me, how many videos do you post per week? Because it costs you 4 cents per video. So that whole stuff that I just developed isn't being launched till September because we post a month ahead of time. So think of this for August. There's 2 videos a day, 7 days a week, and there's 4 blogs. So there's 6 pieces of content that I had to hand copy and paste into Instagram and hand copy and paste into YouTube, hand copy and paste into everywhere else every single day. Now, my program does it a month ahead of time, but I spent hours copying and pasting. And that's why earlier today when I exposed the other broker to hit the button, there it goes. He was underwhelmed. I was ready to really just kill him at that point because it's significantly bigger and the content will be better. So all this is going to happen in September. So we're going to go from 6 pieces of content a day. So the 2 videos, one is real estate done the right way, according to Mike. The other is local happenings. We're now going to formally put in our listings and just solds and pendings and all that. So that's a 3rd stream every day. And the 4 blogs are going to go to 8 blogs. So we do 2 blogs for sellers. We do 2 blogs for buyers. we're going to introduce 2 blogs for waterfront living, because that's what I sell, and 2 blogs for luxury living. Now, all those aren't going to go over social. Most of them will go to my blog website, because here's what's happening down the road. People aren't going to go to Google and say, I need a Longboat Key realtor. They're going to go into ChatGPT or Claude or Grok and say, I would like to find a top-notch realtor who services Longboat Key and specializes in condos, long-tail keywords. These blogs actually will be found by Google, will be found by Grok, will be found by Claude, and it's happened already. They will recommend Michael Renick as the realtor of choice because of all the work with these blogs. There's some other things to do, but that's why so much content. Now, a small 3-person team, the reason we can do all this content is all generated by AI. We go out, what's the latest things trending? We grab that information. What are they searching for? We turn it into topics, we turn it into blogs, and we post, all with very little work.
Yeah, so let's talk through finding trending topics. I know you touched on briefly earlier.
So for the blogs, it's different. The blogs, I go up and I pull an extract from Answer the Public and Spark Toro.
Okay, Answer the Public.
2 websites. I grab an Excel file, a CSV file, and I bring it in, and that's the only work I have to do is I bring it into my program, and the first program goes through, and it gives me 50 titles. Here's what's interesting. Down the road, it always goes back to the database to make sure no titles are a duplicate of what they've done in a prior month. And if there are, it reproduces, and so I still get my 50 titles or 60 titles, whatever I want. Then it goes through and it takes those, and I give it permission, it creates the content. I can go through and right now I'm looking at every piece of content to make sure it's good. But then it goes through and it creates the image. Then when I hit the last button, it goes through and it posts it to my WordPress blog site in draft. Again, I could make it go right straight through. I still want checks until I'm comfortable with this thing. And then I promote it to a published post.
And talking about your social pieces, right? You have blogs, you have social content, and there's checks and balances. You want to look at the copy, the transcript, etc. Are you also in your system connecting your social accounts to the system so it schedules it at the right time, correctly, all of that directly once you've approved it?
My program does that. So shortly I will publish everything for September. Like August, all got published manually, copy and paste, before August started. So I'm about to do September, so I will load it and I'll put the dates that I want it posted on.
Yeah, perfect. So what platforms, social platforms, are you finding the most engagement with? And this is not necessarily an AI question. I'm just curious before I follow up with the question regarding AI. What platforms are you seeing your short, vertical, less than a minute videos find engagement on most?
It varies. So we're on all of them. So we're on YouTube Shorts.
Yep.
We're on Facebook Reels. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. I swore I would never go on TikTok, but I'm on TikTok, so we're there. It wasn't that I'm opposed to TikTok. It was in the beginning is you had to be dancing around and stuff like that, and that's not going to happen. So
I hear you.
So I'm across all the platforms that allow the shorts, and some posts will do better on one, a next post might do better on another. And so here's the cool thing. Now that this is implemented, my time isn't going to be spent copying and pasting. It's going to be better using AI to, well, that post only got 360 views. That's not good enough. What can I do to make it better? And I can really use the strategic part of the AI to hone in on the quality. Again, my posts are hyper local. I'm looking for folks looking in this part of Florida, so I'm never going to get 10,000 views. But I want to make sure that I'm leveraging everything I can. Like Gary Vee teaches all the time, we have a unique opportunity. The algorithm isn't sending it out to the number of people that are following you. It's sending it out to who they think wants to see the content. And it's all free out there right now. I don't think most people understand the opportunity in front of us. That's why putting all this content out there, the only reason I'm doing it is I believe what I've been taught. This is how the LLMs are going to send people to the realtors.
Definitely. And I think even if you say, you mentioned this about 300 views, you're never going to have 10,000, but having 300 views on a long tail keyword that you're addressing a very hyper local niche question is actually very good sometimes.
It could be 300 on YouTube, but another 250 on TikTok and maybe 106 on Instagram. So those those numbers, we normally get 40,000 views per month on my videos.
That's pretty good.
For
Especially, it costs you 4 cents a video.
so
You know,
those were free because those were the copy and paste.
copy and paste ones. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
So, what I'm hearing, Mike, is that, AI has truly helped you scale content generation to a level that you could never imagine doing it manually. Plus, it also has ingested intelligence into your process so you can find the trending stuff, when to post, which is something you alluded to. And there's no other way you would have done it if you had a 3-person agent team, including yourself. There's just, you're resigned to the fact that I can only do so much. But
mhm.
now you can ingest, you can create processes like this, the one you mentioned with N8N, for a variety of things that are non-content specific also.
I could grow the team. We had a much larger team. We just recently shrunk by 3 people. Um, to me, when you're managing people, and I had a lot of large groups at General Motors, that has its own set of challenges, and I get that, and that's okay. I'd rather be fighting AI for something than a disagreement with somebody on the team and stuff like that. So it just allows us to be a small team because the one thing I won't cut corners is we have a rule here. There may be a legal line in terms of you can't behave below it. Let's say the legal line is here, but the
Yeah.
ethical line is up here. I let nobody operate below the ethical line. If I
Yeah.
catch somebody, and that's why we've had a shrinkage of the team recently, if someone operates below the ethical line, it may be okay with their ethics, it may be legal, but it doesn't meet my level of ethics. So I don't have to deal with that anymore. AI is a tremendous help in creating these programs, leveraging things. Just talking. I was laying in bed last night. I'll be really candid, and I wasn't tired, so I picked up the phone, and I had a very strategic conversation with ChatGPT in terms of how to move forward with all this content. And I say he, it could be a she, but it laid out everything, and I have it in on my laptop, the strategy that it put together last night, and that's what we're going to follow going forward. It's a partner that knows a whole lot more about everything than I do, and I recognize that.
Yeah, that's good. And you're implementing systems that allow you to kind of find the eyeballs and things like that, which is really what all realtors need to be doing anyway, because search is changing in front of us, obviously, how people look for information. And that's what appealed to me when I saw your information being in that Facebook group. I said I should get Mike on the pod. So before I get to my final 2 questions, Mike, I wanted to ask you, what is your tech stack AI tools that you pay for? Again, it doesn't have to be the experimental ones, but let's focus on. I feel like you're paying ChatGPT. Let's
I
start
pay
there.
the $20 a month for ChatGPT.
Yep.
Um, we pay for CapCut. That's the final video editing software that we use. The N8N, I think, is like $24 a month. That's the environment that I'm creating the code in, the programs
Yep.
in. 11 Labs, if I remember right, is $11 a month. There's no significant cost with this whatsoever. Now, when ChatGPT came out with the $200 a month, I'm going to let other people try it. I'm going to watch on YouTube and see how it goes. I'll invest the 200. I've got Claude at 200 because it's helping me write so much code. I'm okay with that, but I don't chase the latest shiny object. I want to make sure there's some value to it. But I will spend $1 or I'll spend $1,000 if it's going to bring value back to my customer.
Yeah, I don't think agents have a problem if you see a return on your investment to increase the investment. Too often we tend to buy. I mean, realtors are the easiest people to sell stuff to sometimes, right?
Oh
Because
yeah.
you don't have they're great entrepreneurs, but they just are not good business people. But to your point, though, I think if you can measure the ROI, you will scale that number. So, I mean, AI is the most affordable leverage for an agent like yourself to grow and scale your business. So. It's fascinating, and I'm going to continuously watch your journey,
I
Mike. And
tease
I think,
folks that you talk about costs. AI Mike is on the videos now. And what I tease folks is he hasn't figured out he's not getting paid. I'm still getting the paycheck. Maybe that day will come and I'll have to be a lot nicer to AI Mike than I have
there
been.
you go.
So, but he's free.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. So, any other AI takeaways that you want to share with the audience before I get to the final 2 questions, Mike?
I'm just looking forward to the future. Being almost 70, I want to lead this revolution. I don't want to follow. I don't want to stay even. I want to lead it. And I did that as an IT person inside of General Motors with some very first in terms of technology. And I think we're leading with a lot of the things we've done for realtors here. And so I'm hoping at 80, I'm sitting here working on a whole nother set of issues that there'll be a day where you and I are going to think something and the video is going to get done. That's coming. There, Gary
It's
V
coming. It's
teaches,
coming.
Gary Vanderchuk, and I follow him tremendously. He says that our grandkids will actually marry a robot. So I don't know that that's true.
Yeah, yeah.
But the
I
technology,
can't say that I'm looking forward to that day, but I can see robots in our world because we're going to have three types of people that we're going to manage. One is humans in general, then we'll have AI agents, right, and then humanoid robots. So I think that's the world where we're going to kind of go into. We're already in some capacity. So
it,
um, yeah, go
it's
ahead.
fun to watch this. It really is. Folks are being worried about being replaced by AI. Same thing back when the internet was invented. They're all worried it's going to replace us. Our jobs become different, and folks need to grab on and learn about this, learn how to use it, because those are the folks that are going to be the most sought after from an employment perspective going forward. I've had people reach out about me re-entering the workload. Um, Off the record, between you and I'm not working for anybody ever again. Not that it was bad, 31 years at General Motors, but I like being able to decide every day what I'm going to do, what I'm going to work on, what I'm going to accomplish. This skill set out there to be able to deliver a product that makes a difference. There's a tremendous demand for that kind of stuff out there.
Oh yeah, 100%. Well, let's get to the final two questions. This has been incredibly helpful, and I'm sure agents they're having these light bulb moments through all the things that you're talking about systems you can create. I don't know if you're a book or a podcast person, Mike.
I'm more online, YouTube.
Okay.
I'm up in the middle of the night all the time. I don't sleep through the night, and I'm on YouTube. This is where I'm learning a lot of my stuff, where I make my connections.
Yeah.
YouTube's just a fantastic tool to learn.
Oh yeah. All the resources you ever need to learn are on YouTube. If you just can apply yourself. So, what is their go-to YouTube channel for Mike?
The one that I like the most, it's really interesting, is being hosted by a 21 and a 26-year-old, two young kids out of Michigan, and they're leading in a lot of stuff. They run a group called AI Foundations, and I think if you Google that, that'll pop up.
I may be following that. Yeah.
They're bleeding edge, and I'll give you connections right to their YouTube channel when I do the notes summary for you for this.
Yeah. That'd be great.
They deserve to be rewarded. I'm amazed, and I tease them all the time about their age, but they are light years ahead in terms of leveraging this technology.
That's great. That's great. And if you're listening, Mike's 70, soon to be 70 years young, and if he can dig in with a little bit of, obviously he has a tech background, but at his age, anyone listening to it, it's not too late to embrace it. Start on your journey, and get better at every day. And that's what curiosity does to you as well. So, last question before I let you go, Mike. You've seen life in all these three facets. I call it transformative tech moments, right? Smartphone, internet, smartphone, and now AI. The three things that I talk about. If you had to look back and give a piece of advice to your younger self, what would that be?
I don't want this to sound the wrong way. I enjoyed my 31 years at General Motors, but I've run my own company now for 12, 13 years. If I had to do it over again, like this 21, 26-year-old I just talked about, I would start out running my own company. You have the freedom to do what you want to do. Again, General Motors took exceptionally good care of me. I'm on a pension today because of General Motors. I still drive their vehicles. But running my own company, having the freedom, not being part of a national chain, I have the freedom to do what's right for my customer on the spot. I'm the CEO of my own life. Every day I get up, I decide what I want to do and when I want to do it. And my sister, I was on the phone yesterday, and she says, Mike, at your age, she's only a couple of years younger than me, but she says, at your age, why are you working so hard? I said, Mary, you don't understand. I'm not working. This is fun. And
Yeah.
that's the one thing I would do differently. I would start out of college and I would start my own company.
Yeah, and when you love what you do, it doesn't seem like work as well.
It's
A
a couple of times this week, I woke up at 1 o'clock. Instead of turning on YouTube, I dug into the programs that were giving me a little bit of trouble. And it was 7 o'clock that night when I put them away. And it just flew by. I mean, it wasn't work. It was fun. And those doggone programs, they're working today.
There you go. There you go. Well, I'm looking forward to keeping up with you and staying in touch as you progress in all the things you're implementing. Thanks for taking time to jump on in the pod, and I'm sure people listening will friend you and find you online to kind of keep track of all the stuff that you're doing as well. So if you've loved the show and enjoyed all the takeaways from Mike, Don't forget to subscribe, follow, so whenever a new episode drops, you'll be notified as well. So, Mike, thanks for the time.
Thank you for the opportunity. I enjoyed talking about this. Thank you.
Take care.